video. Live. We're live. We're on? We're good. Okay. Thanks for joining us for the weekly SilviaFindings live stream on Facebook Live. And hopefully after it gets saved and more people can watch it on YouTube, I guess on Facebook too. Thanks for joining us. Like I said, another week. This is December, what is it? December 2nd today? December 2nd, 2020. So you know what that means? It means we're quickly approaching those days where weather stuff can get to you by Christmas. Gets, the chances are smaller and smaller depending where you are. If you're in Europe right now and you're ordering regular post, forget it. You're not going to get it for Christmas. It's not going to happen. So you're going to have to, upgrade your shipping if you definitely need stuff for Christmas. East coast of Canada, we probably have another, maybe end of the week, maybe by next week it will be, difficult. Into the States is not really an issue yet because, we just truck it across the border and then U.S. Postal Service takes care of it and handles it. And there seem to be way better than Canada Post. I know I always drag Canada Post through the mud here, but man, they deserve it. And I get that Canada's way more spread out than the U.S. is, and they have a more advanced infrastructure because there are so many more people there, and big cities, small towns in between, and the postal service is kind of everywhere. And here we have way more people who are remote. So I get it. But it is what it is, and we are where we are. And given the pandemic surging again, which by all accounts, it's going to be way worse this time than it was at the beginning. So we'll see. Things are slowing down again in the mail. So just beware. We'll keep you up to date. I think Toronto, Montreal, those kind of places, we're looking at regular post, 10 days to 2 weeks right now, sort of thing. So just beware. If you share this video with anybody, just let us know, or I guess we'll know. We'll find out. We get a notice that you did so. We'll send you one of these beautiful polishing cloths, silver polishing cloths that are great stocking stuffer. Buy some. or not. You should know that if you place an order during the live stream today, or any of the live streams, we'll give you free regular mail shipping. That's the not tracked, not insurance, anything. So if it's over $100, we don't ship it without insurance. So I guess that's another wrinkle in the criteria. So just so you know, we can do that. I'm gonna talk about we're gonna continue our weekly online or video catalog of our products with a couple more trays of products. We'll start with some pairs settings and go on to a couple of other things. But I did want to say a couple things about the products. We try to, especially, very simple basket settings, say in, pairs, we try to get as many permutations of sizes to cater to as many people as possible. Now, pairs are really particular because, you might have a pear stone that's 10 millimeters tall, but you could conceivably have that in everything from 3 millimeters wide to 12 millimeters wide. It was just there's no way to have every X by Y size available. So we try to do our best, and sometimes you can get things to kind of fit, but if you want stuff to be exactly calibrated for your stone. The best way to achieve that is just ordering custom. You know, we do custom work all the time. We do so much custom. It's great. And it's way cheaper than it would be if you were to bring it to a jewelry store and have them, you know, bring this stone and say, hey, can you make me a pendant like this? You know, they're going to charge you a way more money than we will. You know, I think right now the price for standard, you know, regular old pendants or rings or whatever, under 5 grams, which may not sound like much, but I think most of the pendants I'm going to show you today are under 5 grams. So it's pretty rare that you make stuff that's heavier than that. Anyway, anything up to about 5 grams, $65 Canadian dollars. You won't find that price anywhere. It's just impossible. Well, it's not impossible because we do it, but it's rare. Let's just say that. And that includes the 3D design that you would have to approve before we actually cast it, and then that includes, you know, the casting and the rhodium plating and everything. So it's just a heck of a deal, and it's definitely something that you should look at if you're, you know, a jeweler. Or not, even if you're just a person. You have a stone. Everybody has the stones in their drawer that they got from their grandmother, or they were at a gem show and they found a really awesome cab that spoke to them for some reason and they bought it, not knowing what they would do with it. Well, now's the time. Pull that cab out and, you know, we'll get the dimensions and we'll get something going for you. We can do it. There's nothing we can't do within reason. Also, on the cards, right, I'm going to show you these things. You'll see them closer up. Don't worry about it. But there's a bunch of numbers here. There'll be the SKU, which is just SKU. Somebody told me that they didn't know what SKU meant. And I'm sorry. To me, I've been in retail my whole life, so SKU is obvious. SKU is just a word that means stock keeping unit. So like a code number thing, whatever. So it'll be the SKU and the dimensions and 2 prices. One is a retail price and the other is a wholesale price. The retail price is just the price, and the wholesale price is available to you if you purchase over $150 Canadian at the wholesale level, right? So if there's something that is $15 retail and $10 wholesale, and you bought 10 of them, you pay $150 the retail price, but it would only be $100 at wholesale price, so you wouldn't get the discount sort of thing. You'd have to buy 15 of them to get the $10 price, if that makes sense, right? I think that, and sometimes when you're in that weird situation where you know, your order is over $150 retail, but you haven't reached the wholesale price, you know, it's worth it to just add more product until you get to the wholesale price, and then you end up getting more stuff for the same money. I know that sounds completely weird, and I probably shouldn't be telling you that anyway, because it's all about the margins. But that's there it is. If you need to get a hold of us, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can do that, you know, through the chat here. If you join, or when you join, you know, introduce yourself. Other people who are just joining won't know because they won't have heard me say that, so never mind. In the future, when you join, you know, say hi, you know, join us. So, but if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach us here, Facebook Live, or you can reach us on the website. We have that little chat feature. You can email me directly, mark@CanadaFindings, or marble.info@CanadaFindings. You know, we're always available for you, and please use us as a resource for anything. You know, we're here to answer whatever questions you have about our product. You know, it's always better. The more information you have, the more information we're able to give you, the easier it is for you to use our products, right? If that makes sense. So, you know, ask. There's no dumb question. Actually, the only dumb question is the one not asked, as they say. My father used to tell me that. It used to drive me crazy. But yes, please ask if you have any questions. You can always get a hold of us somehow. Okay, so let's get to the settings. The first one, let me just move this here. Just gonna angle this a little better. There we go. And these ones, let me just show you a bigger one of that. same idea, right? So it's a pear pendant. It's a nice basket, simple basket. So some cabochons work in here, cut stones work in here. You pretty much name it, and it can go on there, sort of thing. So the first one and I have a couple that have stones in them, just so you can see. The first one we have is just a plain one with a loop in the top, right? And the smallest MTP 768 for a 5x7 millimeter pair. Retail price is $650 and the wholesale price is $433. And again, this just has the little loop at the top. There's no bail in there, right? The version of that same one that has a bail is MTP 768B. Not surprisingly, for a 5x7 millimeter pair. Retail price is $774 and wholesale price is $516 per piece. And this one has that soldered loop and the bail in the top of that. The next series of them are all, they all have that split. Let me get one out that has maybe a little better view of it. It has that split bail in the top there. The rabbit ears bail, I call it, but it's just a split bail. And again, nice basket setting for cabs or cut stones, either will work. So MTP 767 for a 6x8 millimeter pear shape. Retail price $12.64 and wholesale price $7.89. Here's one. I actually put a little stone in there so you can see what it looks like with a stone in there. That stone might be, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 millimeter smaller than I would like. You see that silver border around that. Ideally, if it's exactly the size for the stone, the stone will match the outside edge of that, and you won't see that thing. But I think it kind of looks cool. Look at this little beat up garnet I've got in there. Anyway, same split bail. This is a cut stone in there, which fits beautifully. I actually the more that I see it, I kind of like that border around the outside edge. I might be changing my mind about that. MTP 766 is the SKU for a 6x9 millimeter pair. Retail price is $790 and the wholesale price is $528. Here's another one with another stone in there that's also I guess I didn't set that, so it shifts around in there right now, but MTP 765 for a 7x10 millimeter pair. Retail price $833, wholesale price $555. And again, just same old basket style pendant. The next one in that same range, MTP 764 for an 8x12 millimeter stone. Retail price is $957 and the wholesale price is $638. These are a little bit out of order, so some are bigger, some are going to be smaller. The sizes will be all over the place. I don't know how those got mixed up. MTP 756 for a 15x20 millimeter pair. Retail price is $19.40. Wholesale price is $12.94. MTP 758 for a 13x18 millimeter pair. Retail price is $14.16. Wholesale price is $9.44. This one, MTP 760 for a 12x16 millimeter pair. Retail price $12.34. Wholesale price $8.22. And there's another one where I put a stone in, right? That's that. I don't know what that is. Fluorite. Maybe it's an amethyst. MTP 762. And there's a big hair in there. That's gross. MTP 762 for a 9x14 millimeter pair. $10.79 is the retail price, and $7.19 is the wholesale price. The next one, MTP 761 for a 10 by 15 millimeter pair. Retail price $11.53, and the wholesale price $7.70. Oh, that's upside down. There we go. MTP 759 for a 13 by 17 millimeter pair. Retail price $14.39. Wholesale price $9.59. And that's it for that simple basket style with the butterfly, or the rabbit ear bail and the split bail at the top. The rest are all, kind of different variations on those pair settings. This MTP 521 for a 10 by 15 millimeter pair. Now the seat is flat, so ostensibly that's designed for a cabochon, but you could probably put a cut stone in there. That should work fine. The prongs are pretty good size. It's got just the regular prongs on the bottom and the double prong up at the top. So if you have really pointy tips, no worries about actually cracking that stone. Has a nice big wide incorporated bail in there. MTP 521 again for a 10 by 15 millimeter pair. Retail price is $20.28. Wholesale price is $12.68. Here's and I think we actually here's kind of that classic crown setting. It's got a soldered bail on the top there. That bail doesn't move. It's not articulated there anyway. That's just flat on there. But a nice big bail, nice big open setting with the notches on the tops of those prongs. You could put a cab in there, but it's clearly designed for a cut stone. I think a cut stone is gorgeous in there. MTP 235 for a 10 by 15 millimeter stone. Retail price $18.25, and the wholesale price is $11.40. Here we have a little more funky, artistic, sort of cool design. The setting, the seat there is again flat, so it's ostensibly designed for cabochon, but you could definitely put a cut stone in there. It's got the double prongs in the top. It actually looks kind of like a hybrid double prong chevron, because I think down at the bottom of those things, they're not split, just the tops are. You can definitely not worry about breaking your stone in that kind of thing, because you could just pull the tops of those prongs over onto the stone instead of trying to push the whole chevron in. Anyway, it's got these lovely rococo effects with a big cubic zirconia down at the bottom, that soldered loop and bail. MTP 545B for a 10 by 13 millimeter pair. Retail price $19.60, and the wholesale price is $12.25. And we got one out of order here. This go back to that basket things with the pear-shaped with the rabbit ear bail. MTP 757 for a 12 by 20 millimeter pair. Retail price $18.80, and the wholesale price is $12.53. We've got a MTP 286 for a 9 by 11 millimeter pair. Retail price is $11.19, and the wholesale price is $7.25. And this is a very standard, very classic setting. This probably you couldn't put a cabochon in there. I don't think it would work. I mean, you can probably get it to work. It might look weird because of how the edge of the seat is built. But it's got the chevron in the top and the two prongs on the bottom, so a cut stone fits in there beautifully, and will work great. I think it's actually pretty gorgeous all around, but it would be with a stone in there. I wish I had a stone that fit to show you how gorgeous that would be with a stone in it. Here's a square one, kind of out of order, but whatever. It is what it is. MTP 1054 for a 10 millimeter square ish stone. Actually, square, cushion cut would both fit in there. Cut stones, cabs, you name it. Retail price is $10.44. Wholesale price is $6.53. We've got the oval pendant now. This is that classic crown. I call it a crown, pendant, but designed pretty much exclusively for cut stones. You could put a cab in there, but it would look weird. You'd have so much space down underneath on the inside that I think it would just look weird. So this is primarily for cut stones. It's got that incorporated split bail in the top. MTP 234 for an 11 by 17 millimeter oval. Retail price is $16. Wholesale price is $10.01. Then we've got this smaller version, and I think they all get smaller, not progressively because they're out of order. MTP 232 for a 7 by 10 millimeter oval cut stone. Retail price is $9.14. Wholesale price is $5.71. MTP 256 for a 7 by 13 millimeter oval. Retail price is $14.55, and the wholesale price is $8.72. A little bit smaller now. This for a 6 by 8 millimeter oval. MTP 231. Retail price $7.67, and the wholesale price is $4.80. Getting smaller still. MTP 230 for a 5 by 7 millimeter stone. $7.64 is the retail price. $4.78 is the wholesale price. And the last one in this tray that's of this style is a little bit bigger again. MTP 233 for a 9 by 11 millimeter oval cut stone. Retail price $13.48, and the wholesale price is $8.42. The best thing about this particular style of setting is that if you have stones that have a ridiculously deep pavilion, they work great in here. Stuff that doesn't work in other settings, they'll work really great in here because just because of how deep the setting is, altogether. Okay. Sorry for the blank screen. The next tray, I've got a bunch of mostly ovals, but the first one I actually put a stone in there. MTP 392 for 8 by 9.5, although I have I think that's a 7 by 9 millimeter stone in there, just off the top of my head. Retail price is $26.17, and the wholesale price is $17.45. It's got that borders of cubic zirconias with a little heart, cubic zirconias set on top, pave style, and a soldered loop and bail. Here's one with also some bling on it. MTP 451 for a 7 by 9 millimeter stone. Retail price is $19.83, and the wholesale price is $13.22. And this is that cubic zirconia border of money bags. It's a money bag treasure with a soldered loop and bail. It's very cute. Here we have MTP 977 for a 10 by 12 millimeter oval cut stone or cab. Either will work in this setting. Retail price $14.72, and the wholesale price is $9.19. With lovely swirls and a row of cubic zirconias and some cubic zirconia accents, flower at the top there. Just all around classically beautiful setting. Here's another oval setting. MTP 393 11 by 15 millimeter oval cut stone or cab. Retail price $35.84, and the wholesale price $23.89. Bedacked all around with cubic zirconias, and you got that soldered loop and a bail, traditional bail on the top there. Yeah, gorgeous. Here's one that's very I don't know, God, when I look at this thing I always see like 1980s, that kind of look. I put a tiger's eye in there. It's for MTP 346 for a 6 millimeter cabochon. Retail price is $19.15. Wholesale price is $12.77. It's very cool. Graphics, angular. I don't know what that. To me, that at the top it looks like the Chevy logo, but it's not clearly. But it could be reminiscent of it, and it would obviously be. So I don't know what that is. It's just very cool, very avant-garde, I guess. MTP 435 for a 7x9mm cut stone or cabochon. Retail price is $16.60, and the wholesale price is $11.08 for this a little more classic pendant bedecked with cubic zirconias up at the top. Just lovely setting. Another one, MTP 566 for a 9x11mm cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $18.12, wholesale price $11.32, and I just kind of love how the bail becomes kind of like a heart with half of it, set with cubic zirconias all the way around there, and that just lovely swirly, border. Here's one very Victorian looking, I guess. MTP 509 for a 12x16mm cabochon. It'd have to be a cab in there. The retail price is $52.91, and the wholesale price is $33.08. It's got that lovely, scroll work all the way around the outsides. The bail is kind of a filigree, filigree work with a little, I don't know if you could see that, a little marcasite in there at the top. And this is just a lovely, wide bail. Very nice setting. It would look awesome in there as a cameo. If you can cut a cameo down to 12x16, it'd be just gorgeous in there. Here's one for MTP 546 for a 12x16mm cabochon, and maybe a cut stone if it's a pretty shallow pavilion. Retail price is $19.73, and the wholesale price is $12.34, and it's got kind of like a ribbon. The bail becomes a ribbon that's wrapped around with half of it with cubic zirconias, and on the back, which you could kind of see backwards from the front, but on the back, once you get a stone in there, it's got this lovely Chinese character that means, I don't know what it means. Fortune. Half the times I see these things and people say things like, it means fortune, and I assume, okay, well, that's probably true. But then I always think in the back of my mind, they could write anything in here. It could be, this is the hell of boiling oil, So, but this means fortune. I trust Nelson when he says fortune. I think probably my first mistake. MTP 453 for an 11x15mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Even though the seat is flat, you can definitely put a cut stone in there. The prongs are not super tall or super short. Pretty good average size prongs. Retail price $32.46, and the wholesale price is $21.65. Again, did I say? Yeah, 11x15mm oval. It's got this lovely border with cubic zirconias around the bottom, kind of like a staggered view, and a soldered loop and bail. Here's another smaller version, not the same, but similar style to that other one I showed you before, this one, that similar vein. It's got that same bail with... it looks like faux filigree work. It's not actually filigree, but like millgrain, that millgrain pattern there. It still has that marcasite in there. And this is nice, high bezel, all the way around there, decorated all the way around with all kinds of stuff. Again, for a cabochon, for a 10x14mm cab, MTP 508. Retail price is $51.90, and the wholesale price is $32.44. This next one, MTP 681 for a 10x13mm cabochon. Retail price is $15.95 and the wholesale price is $9.57. This has got kind of like a, you know, curved swirl at the top that becomes the bail. Prongs are good size. Got some cubic zirconias in there with some, I don't know, very cool accents around the outside. Here's one for hockey players. MTP 348 for an 8mm cab. That just has dots. I don't think it says anything, does it? I can't get close enough. Anyway, right, MTP 348 for an 8mm cabochon. Retail price $18.47 and the wholesale price $11.60 for the hockey player in your life. Or your team. And just say, you know what, I'm reading that thing and I think that is letters. Anyway. MTP 405 for a 12x16mm cabochon, or maybe a cut stone would also work in there. $25.70 is the retail price. Wholesale price is $17.13. I put this little rose quartz in there, right? Very gorgeous. Just to give you an idea, it's got that frame with the plain silver on the sides and the cubic zirconias in the top and the bottom. It's a very lovely piece. Here's a MTP 441 for an 8x10mm stone. Cabochon, cut stone, either will work in here. Retail prices, it would have to be pretty good size prongs, so any but the very tallest cabs would fit in here. MTP 441 for an 8x10mm cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $25.61, wholesale price $17.07, and I don't know, it's reminiscent of something, maybe an apple. I don't know. It's got lovely cubic zirconia scroll work and cubic zirconias set in there at the top. That lovely triangle framework. Here's a MTP 892. Retail price is size for a 15x21 oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $22.50 and the wholesale price is $17.51. And I love how this is kind of ingenious, how it looks like it's kind of a spiral, you know, twisty thing, but this cubic zirconia is set in the tops in between every section. Very cool. This one has, you know, monstrous prongs, so any but the very tallest cabs won't fit in there. And again, I know I keep teasing it, but in the future I'm going to do a little video. I don't think I'll do it as a live stream because this is difficult to show everything close up and to move the camera and stuff. But I'll do a video of how to dress the ends if the ends are too tall, if you need to change the length of your prongs. Or I don't know, maybe you don't need to see that. If you'd like to see that, let us know if you want to see that. Or if you want to see other videos like that, let us know. MTP 526 for a 12x17mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $20.67 and the wholesale price is $12.92. This has just got some very cool accents around the outside. There's no cubic zirconias or anything in there. It's not a very deep basket, so probably a cabochon is ideal in there. Although a cut stone, if the pavilion is not too giant, would work beautifully also in that. Here we have a kind of a smaller one, very cute starfish for a 4mm. This would almost have to be a cut stone in there. And maybe a cab would fit. It would have to be a low dome cab. MTP 883 for $12.82 is the retail price and $8.65 is the wholesale price. And I just have a just very simple, basic starfish with one of the tongues of the arms of the starfish is the bail. Again, the prongs are not super tall. Obviously designed for cut stone, But yeah, I might try. I would try putting a cab in there. I wouldn't feel weird about doing that. This next one, MTP 100 for a 6x7 mm oval. Retail price $11.45 and the wholesale price is $7.72. This got a lovely kind of frame around the outside with a sort of a, I don't know what that is, leafy sort of, I don't know, planet sort of, or plant the kind of accent at the top, and the soldered looped bail. Our next one, MTP 430 for 8x10 mm cut stone or cab. Retail price is $24.74 and the wholesale price is $16.50. Now I put a real dark garnet in there so you can't really see. Oh, maybe you can see the red there. Just to give you an idea what that looks like with the stone in there. Lovely kind of amphora shape. With the cubic zirconias all the way around, you know, the border on the outside and, you know, finished up at the top with a soldered loop and bail. Very cute. Here's kind of a curious one that's sort of a lapidary special thing. If you're a lapidary, this is the kind of thing that you that you love. MTP 294 for well, it says 26x18, but you're basically looking at cutting a stone the shape of that cloud in the background, or that shape in the background, with the bat wings at the top. Well, they look like bat wings to me. I don't know, that it's not specifically that, but very cool pendant. But it takes somebody who can cut a stone into that shape for it to work. I don't know, you might be able to put a 26x18 mm oval in there, and I don't know, it would look weird though. I think because these big long these curves would stick out past the edge of the stone, it might look weird. But I don't know, maybe I'll try to find a stone, an oval that would fit, and see if it works and see what it looks like. Retail price $21.50 and the wholesale price $15.18 for this Lapidarist's Joy special. Here's another more classic one, MTP 964 for a 6x8 oval. Retail price is $14 and $8.75 is the wholesale price. I put a little tiger's eye cab in there, right? It's just a teardrop with kind of a, I don't know, geometric pattern at the top and some cubic zirconias on the bottom, and that big bail at the top. Again, it's good, you know, deep setting, so it does two things. Having a deep setting like this for a cab, if you have a real thin setting and you put a cabochon in there, all the weight comes to the front, and the piece, when it's on your neck, it ends up sitting, you know, forward like that. I don't know if you've ever seen that happen. You know, having that deep basket equalizes the weight a little bit and makes it hang more straight, more, you know, level, I guess, perpendicular to the ground, let's say. Anyway, very cute, very lovely piece. MTP 107 for a 9x10 oval cabochon or cut stone will work in there. Retail price is $15.02 and the wholesale price is $10.84. I just love these nice deep scroll work there. It's just very, you know, three-dimensional and you know, I don't know, very cool, almost like reminiscent of you know, blacksmithing work. You know, I don't know if you've seen that. And here we've got MTP 712 for a 10mm round cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $20.12, wholesale price is $13.42, and this has a, you know, kind of a row of cubic zirconias in here. There's a gap there, you know, for the seat, for the stone to fit in there. The top of this scroll here and the top of this scroll there would push down onto the stone and hold it into place. There's a prong, a single prong here that also pushes over. So between these two, you know, corners and this one at the top, cut stone definitely would fit in there, would hold it in place, because as long as you have pressure down on the top, the seat itself is what's holding the stone from moving, from slipping out, right? So designed for a cut stone, you might be able to put a cab. How does one go about purchasing these findings? Well, I think the website is probably the easiest way to do it. Maybe Nelson, can you see this thing? I think Nelson will give you a link right to the website, or you can call if there was something you saw during the live stream that you loved. Hi, Janet, by the way. I forgot to say that. Hi. Right, if you see something, just jot down the SKU, and you can call us or email us or however you want. There's no wrong way to buy, to purchase. And MTP 106 for a 6x8mm cabochon. Retail price is $11.88, and the wholesale price is $8.32. Thanks, Carol, for sharing the video, right? We'll send you one of those polishing cloths. So this is just for a cabochon or a cut stone. This got super tall prongs, which is great for those really tall cabs. Oh, there you go. There's Nelson saying here. Oh, lots of places to buy. Did I give the prices of this? I did. I did not. Anyway, I'll do it again. Retail price $11.88. Wholesale price $8.32 for a 6x8. A little more classic. Just scroll work on the outside. It's not a super deep basket, but again, the prongs are really super long. So if you got those really tall cabs, and I see them at shows all the time, it always seems to be rose quartz and labradorite. And sometimes moonstones, rainbow moonstone. You see those stones, and for some reason, every time you see them, they're super thick. It's like crazy, but this will hold them. We've got MTP 542 for a 15x24mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $19.84. Wholesale price is $12.40. And this is just straight up classic, regular old oval frame with 2 cubic zirconias up at the top, little marquise stones up at the top. This would look way more impressive with a stone in there, but I don't have a stone that size to show you. But you can imagine, right? Very classic, very easy, very simple. Whoops, very gorgeous. MTP 503 for a 10x12mm oval cabochon. The seat is designed for a cab, but I would put a cut stone in there. I wouldn't worry about that too much. Retail price is $16.64. Wholesale price is $10.40. And again, this is kind of like I don't know, almost like it's a teardrop-ish thing. For some reason, these always remind me of a paisley, even though I know it's not a paisley shape. Don't at me. And it's got a little trio of cubic zirconias up at the top in there as a nice, lovely little accent, right? Of that swoop that comes all the way around. The frame. Where are we? 43 minutes. I'm doing good. I might finish under an hour. Might. Probably not. But I might. MTP 418. Retail price is $22.87. Wholesale price is $15.25. This is for a 12x14mm oval cut stone or cab. It's got that lovely floral fauna, I guess, a little kind of floral, leafy sort of vine pattern with the branch bedecked in cubic zirconias. Very lovely, right? The soldered loop and bail. Kind of simple. It's another one of those where it's way more impressive with a stone in there because you wouldn't see that seat once the stone is in there. You would just see that the vines around the top of the stone. It would be very gorgeous. MTP 449 for a 9x13mm cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $30.37. Wholesale price is $20.25. And this has some kind of, that faux scroll work at the top and the bottom, rows of cubic zirconia around the sides. Again, nice, not super deep basket. The prongs are kind of a perfect size for almost every cab, except for super, super thick ones. But again, depending on the shape of the pavilion, you could probably also definitely put a cut stone in there. And it would look really gorgeous. MTP 680, or sorry, 882 for a 4x6 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone, maybe. Retail price $14.04. Wholesale price is $9.36. This again is another one of those kind of gorgeous. I don't know what you'd call it, sort of like a swoopy, swirly thing. When that sits, hangs from your pendant, these are going to hang just a little bit diagonal, I guess, sideways. So very non-standard, very cool. Here's one that, this is backwards. Hold on. I don't want to show you the back of it, although the back is as beautiful as the front oftentimes. MTP 559 for a 10x13 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stones, with a retail price of $20.10 and the wholesale price of $12.58. And again, just a regular, the kind of standard, soldered loop and bail, but the top has this lovely kind of scroll work, flourishes at the top. And once you put the stone in there, it's going to highlight the stone with just these kind of, flourishes up at the top of the stone, right? So just lovely. Here's another one, MTP 450 for a 9x14 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $28.99. Wholesale price is $19.33. And this regular, for some reason the screen is frozen. Is anybody else? Are you frozen?
No.
No? I don't know, Carol, it might be your something with your browser. Everybody else is seeing it okay. Sorry. Maybe hit refresh. MTP 450 for a 9x14 millimeter. I think I said this. Thanks, Carol. $28.99 is the retail price and $19.33 is the wholesale price. I love these kind of alternating curves of the cubic zirconias and the silver around the outside border. Very gorgeous. Here's one, MTP 361A for a 7x11 millimeter oval. Again, the seat is designed for a cabochon, but you can definitely put a cut stone in there. Retail price is $14.69 and the wholesale price is $9.57. And I just love that once the stone is in there, again, you're just going to see the stone with this lovely kind of, swoopy sort of patterns up at the top. Again, very cool. Here's another one that is it's a really good seller. We sell a lot of these for some reason. MTP 886 for a 7x9 millimeter oval. Retail price is $13.10. Wholesale price is $8.74. And this cabochon, definitely cut stone. Probably these got this super long prong, so even the really, really thick cabs will fit in there. It's just very simple, alternating swoops at the top and the bottom, and the top one, becomes the bail. I don't know if you can see that, right? Really, really, really good, versatile, simple pendant that again definitely shows off the stone more than the pendant. Next one here, MTP 109 for a 9x11 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $12.86. Wholesale price is $8.96. It's got that little soldered loop and bail, and it's got a little bit thicker border, so you definitely see that border around the outside edge of the stone, and that lovely kind of swirly ribbon, thing at the top. Very cool. Here's another one. Oh, I love this one. I don't know why. It's just very cool to me. I love these kind of scrolly, swirly things. And I'm a sucker for horizontal stones. MTP 603 for a 12 by 16 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $19.06. Wholesale price is $15.24. Right, just lovely. Next one, MTP 261 for a 7 by 9 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. I mean, this is designed for a cut stone, but I can put a cab in there, definitely. Retail price $16.45 and a wholesale price for $11.41. And it's just got this gorgeous, starts out thick and gets smaller thing and gets thick again all the way around to the border, fluted on one side, or pleated. I guess that's pleated, not fluted. Well, whatever. Pick your adjective, whatever it's called. That pattern on the side. I say fluted. I want to say fluted. I've got this one that I had a stone in there, but it fell out as I was moving it. It's just very cool. Let me just talk about it first. MTP 242 for a 7 by 9 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. Cut stone would probably work better in here, but I have a cab that I'm going to put in there. Retail price is $19.18 and the wholesale price is $11.99. Now, if you can see on this edge, right, there's a lip in there. And then these two prongs on the side. So when you put your stone in there, it's almost like sort of like half channel set, half prong set. I'm not going to be able to do this. Oh, there it goes. It went in. Right? So that side sort of covers holds the stone in, and then when you push the prongs in, that'll push the stone in place and hold it in place. And you've got this lovely flourish bail, right? That's gorgeous. That's just one of my favorites. I know I've said that like 9 times today. MTP 213 for 7 by 9 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $12.05. Wholesale price is $8.03. And again, another classic kind of scroll work around the arts, or I don't know, border of things with cubic zirconias at the top and the bottom. Basket style with prongs that are good average size. So again, cabochons or cut stones, either will work in there. Can't go wrong. Here's a pair now. MTP 568 for a 10 by 14 millimeter pear shaped stone. $18.30 is the retail price and $11.44 is the wholesale price. This has got lovely, I don't know, alternate stacked hearts, I guess, at the top with some cubic zirconias in the top and in the middle. It's got kind of like a hybrid, that hybrid double prong chevron at the top. So, boy, cabochons for sure. If you put a cut stone in there, you might need to cut out this little, piece, at the top. And you may be worried about the stability, but once the stone is in there and the prongs are set, the stone itself provides the stability, for this kind of a setting. Here's a MTP 004 for an 8 by 10 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. The retail price is $9.72 and the wholesale price is $6.34. Another kind of very cool, classic, postmodern thing, a little cubic zirconia at the top with that seat designed for a cut stone, but will work for a cab. Here's another one that I put a stone in there, a little rhodonite, rhodochrosite. It's one of those. No, I think it was rhodonite. MTP 918 for a 7 by 9 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $13.38 and the wholesale price is $8.92. And again, just lovely kind of, slashes and scroll works and flourishes, some bedecked with cubic zirconias. It's a lovely style. Whoops. Here's MTP 870B for an 8mm cabochon or cut stone. The retail price is $12.31 and the wholesale price is $8.20. And again, the basket itself is just a simple plain round basket. The bale is kind of like a, I don't know, looks like it's wrapped around, very cool. It's another one, MTP 607 for a 7x9mm oval cabochon or cut stone. $23.40 is the retail price, $18.72 is the wholesale price. And these kind of ones are, I don't know, sort of my favorites. How they're nice, big bold border. There are no cubic zirconias in this one, but it's just gorgeous. Love that shape. Love that look. Nice bold look. This is one of those things where it's kind of like, the pendant is saying, look at the gorgeous stone I have in there, but it's also not hiding the pendant, if that makes sense. Anyway, MTP 009 for a 9x11mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $13.18 and the wholesale price is $8.78. Again, it's got that soldered lupin bale with a couple of leaves at the top and a cubic zirconia and this frame around the border that will border the stone. So you definitely see that border again, which kind of focuses the eye onto the stone. MTP 915 for a 6x8mm oval cabochon or cut stone. The retail price is $12.70 and the wholesale price is $8.46. And I love this kind of, it looks like a ribbon that comes all the way around the stone, almost rectangular, that holds it in there. And this big bold, bale at the top there. Definitely. Everything focusing the eye down onto the stone. Here's one, MTP 605 for a 12x16mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $19.67 and the wholesale price $15.73. This has got again super tall prongs, so the thickest cabs will definitely fit in there. It's got a pretty shallow basket, so you can probably put a cut stone in there, but if it's got a deep pavilion, the pointy part sticking out the back might stick you in the chest. So definitely better for cabs than cut stones, but you could put a cut stone in there for sure. And the last one for today is this lovely MTP 610 for a 12x16mm cab. Retail price is $34.58 and the wholesale price is $19.76. And I put a lovely green aventurine, I think, in there. Maybe it's a serpentine. No, I think it's aventurine. Let's call it jade. It's imperial jade. It's not, but let's just say it is. It's got these lovely semicircles of cubic zirconias around the border and that lovely bold, bale on the top of that. I say the price. $34.58 is the retail price. $19.76 is the wholesale price. And that is it for today. What do I got here? What am I doing? There we go. So that was 3 more trays from our lovely thing. I think we're just past the halfway point of our online catalog. Thank you for joining us. Again, you shared, so whoever shared will get one of these little polishing cloths. We'll send that out in the mail today. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let us know. Give us a call. I think, Nelson, if you scroll up in the chat, you'll see some information how to get a hold of us. Orders on the website, orders on the phone. It doesn't matter how you place the order, as long as you place the order. What else? I guess that's about it. I always feel so, I know an hour went by, a solid hour. But if you're still watching, thanks for doing that. Again, please leave your comments. We always love to hear from you if you have any other questions about anything other than specifically settings, or if you have any setting issues. That's why I'm here, here to answer your questions about how to do things. And again, I know I keep teasing this. I've teased this for the last 3 weeks, but I am going to do a video of dressing the ends, because sometimes I feel like I have seen people, when they post reviews of the products that they purchase from us, sometimes I'll see images that they posted those reviews where the prongs were clearly longer than they needed to be for the stone, and you see some of the prong coming over into the inside of the perimeter of the stone, or which you normally always see, but it's a little bit too far into the perimeter of the stone. There's one in particular that I'm thinking of, but I don't want to post it because I don't want to embarrass anybody. But these pendants and things, boy, you can modify them so many ways to make your stones fit if they don't, just automatically fit in there. I don't know that the idea is, I'm going to buy a prefab setting and my stone's going to fit. And yeah, I would say 90% of the time, if you have a 10 by 12 millimeter stone and you buy a 10 by 12 millimeter setting, 90% of the time it's going to work, but that 10% of the time where the pavilion is the wrong shape, or, there's something wacky about how the lapidary cut the stone, you might have difficulty, but usually there's a way to fix it. It requires a few tools, a little bit of skills, not many. So don't freak out if you're one of those people who just wants to put the stone in there, pop the things in there. There's always a way. And my biggest pet peeve is with the prongs. Sometimes when the prongs are too long. And when you buy, and I'm going to go off on a tangent here, and I'm sorry, I know that it's an hour and up, but I'm just going to keep going. When you buy rings from any prefab manufacturer, especially big men's rings, this is where you see it mostly. The prongs are way longer than you would need them for just about any stone. They're specifically meant to be cut down and shaped and carved, to fit the stone, depending on the shape of the girdle and the crown and and the height of the pavilion, etc., etc., etc. So my point was, I'm teasing again. I'm gonna do a little how-to video that we'll probably post it here, or it'll be on the website, on whatever websites. But hopefully that'll help you be maybe a little bit less reticent to order something that you've seen that has prongs that look like it's way longer than you need them to be. Very simple to dress the ends and make them look gorgeous. Make them be perfect for the shape of your stone. So having said that, thank you for watching. Please take care of yourself, take care of the planet, take care of your mental health. Please keep being creative, keep making stuff. The best way through this, the general sense of malaise that everybody's feeling because of this pandemic that seems to be going on forever, is to just keep working, just keep making stuff, just keep being creative, and and if you can't think of something new to do, make something you've already done. Just the function of working with stuff that you like doing will get those creative juices flowing. Generally, that's just my 2 cents. So thanks again. We will see you next week, next Wednesday, 10:30 Pacific, and extrapolate it out to whatever your time zone is. And we will see you then. Thanks very much, and bye-bye.